Question 46. What is code coverage? Answer. Code coverage is the measure of the amount of code covered by the test scripts. It gives the idea of the part of the application covered by the test suite. Question 47. What are statement testing and statement coverage in white box testing? Answer. Statement testing is a white box testing approach in which test scripts are designed to execute code statements. Statement coverage is the measure of the percentage of statements of code executed by the test scripts out of the total code statements in the application. The statement coverage is the least preferred metric for checking test coverage. Question 48. What is decision testing or branch testing? Answer. Decision testing or branch testing is a white box testing approach in which test coverage is measured by the percentage of decision points, e.g. if-else conditions, executed out of the total decision points in the application. Question 49. What are the different levels of testing? Answer. Testing can be performed at different levels during the development process. Performing testing activities at multiple levels helps in the early identification of bugs. The different levels of testing are 1. Unit testing, 2. Integration testing, 3. System testing, 4. Acceptance testing. Question 50. What is unit testing? Answer. Unit testing is the first level of testing and it involves testing individual modules of the software. It is usually performed by developers. Question 51. What is integration testing? Answer. Integration testing is performed after unit testing. In integration testing, we test the group of related modules. It aims at finding interfacing issues between the modules. Question 52. What are the different types of integration testing? Answer. The different type of integration testing is 1. Big Bang integration testing. In Big Bang integration testing, testing starts only after all the modules are integrated. 2. Top-down integration testing. In top-down integration testing, integration starts from top modules to lower-level modules. 3. Bottom-up integration testing. In bottom-up integration, testing starts from lower-level modules to higher-level modules up in the hierarchy. 4. Hybrid integration testing. Hybrid integration testing is the combination of both top-down and bottom-up integration testing. In this approach, the integration starts from the middle layer, and testing is carried out in both the direction. Question 53. What is a stub? Answer. In the case of top-down integration testing, many times lower-level modules are not developed while beginning testing integration with top-level modules. In those cases, stubs or dummy modules are used that simulate the working of modules by providing a hard-coded or expected output based on the input values. Question 54. What is a driver? Answer. In the case of bottom-up integration testing, drivers are used to simulate the working of top-level modules in order to test the related modules lower in the hierarchy. Question 55. What is system testing? Answer. System testing is the level of testing where the complete software is tested as a whole. The conformance of the application with its business requirements is checked in system testing. Question 56. What is acceptance testing? Answer. Acceptance testing is testing performed by the potential end-user or customers to check if the software conforms to the business requirements and can be accepted for use. Question 57. What is UAT testing? UAT testing is the last phase of the testing lifecycle. Its main focus is to validate that software is working in accordance with business requirements. It also ensures that the application is user-friendly and can handle complex scenarios at its best before releasing the product to real-world users. Question 58. What is end-to-end testing? Answer. End-to-end testing is a type of testing where the entire application undergoes testing to test that each functionality of the software is working as expected and there is no loophole remaining in it. It ensures that the application is user-friendly and meets the business requirements. Question 59. What is alpha testing? Answer. Alpha testing is a type of acceptance testing that is performed by testers or the internal employees of the organization at the developer site. Question 60. What is beta testing? Answer. Beta testing is the testing done by end users at the end user's site. It allows users to provide direct input about the software to the development company. Question 61. What is ad hoc testing? Answer. Ad hoc testing is an unstructured way of testing that is performed without any formal documentation or proper planning. Question 62. What is monkey testing? Answer. Monkey testing is a type of testing that is performed randomly without any predefined test cases or test inputs. Question 63. How is monkey testing different from ad hoc testing? Answer. In the case of ad hoc testing, although there are no predefined or documented test cases, still, testers have an understanding of the application, while in the case of monkey testing, testers don't have any understanding of the application. Question 64. What is exploratory testing? Answer. Exploratory testing is a type of testing in which new test cases are added and updated while exploring the system or executing test cases. Unlike scripted testing, test design and execution go parallel in exploratory testing. Question 65. What is load testing? Answer. Load testing is a type of performance testing that aims at finding an application's performance under the expected workload. During load testing, we evaluate the response time, throughput, error rate, etc. parameters of the application. Question 66. What is stress testing? Answer. Stress testing is a type of performance testing in which an application's behavior is monitored under a higher workload than expected. Stress testing is done to find memory leaks and the robustness of the application. Question 67. What is volume testing? Answer. Volume testing is a type of performance testing in which the performance of the application is evaluated with a large amount of data. It checks the scalability of the application and helps in the identification of a bottleneck with a high volume of data. Question 68. What is endurance testing or soak testing? Answer. Endurance testing is a type of performance testing that aims at finding issues like memory leaks when an application is subjected to load tests for a long period of time. Question 69. What is spike testing? Answer. Spike testing is a type of performance testing in which the application's performance is measured while suddenly increasing the number of active users during the load test. Question 70. What is UI testing? Answer. UI or user interface testing is a type of testing that aims at finding graphical user interface defects in the application and checks that the GUI conforms to the specifications. Question 71. What is usability testing? Answer. Usability testing is the type of testing that aims at determining the ease of using the application. It aims at uncovering the usability defects in the application. Question 72. What is accessibility testing? Answer. Accessibility testing is the type of testing that aims at determining the ease of use or operation of the application specifically for people with disabilities. Question 73. What is compatibility testing? Answer. Compatibility testing is validating software to see how compatible the software is with a particular environment, operating system, platform, or hardware. Question 74. What is configuration testing? Answer. Configuration testing is the type of testing used to evaluate the configurational requirements of the software along with the effect of changing the required configuration. Question 75. What is localization testing? Answer. Localization testing is a type of testing in which we evaluate the application's customization, a localized version of the application, in a particular culture, locale or country. Question 76. What is globalization testing? Answer. Globalization testing is a type of testing in which an application is evaluated for its functioning across the world in different cultures, languages, locales, and countries. Question 77. What is negative testing? Answer. Negative testing is a type of testing in which the application's robustness, graceful exiting or error reporting, is evaluated when provided with invalid input or test data. Question 78. What is security testing? Answer. Security testing is a type of testing that aims at evaluating the integrity, authentication, authorization, availability, confidentiality, and non-repudiation of the application under test. Question 79. What is penetration testing? Answer. Penetration testing or pen testing is a type of security testing in which an application is evaluated safely exploited for different kinds of vulnerabilities that any hacker could exploit. Question 80. What is robustness testing? Answer. Robustness testing is a type of testing that is performed to find the robustness of the application, i.e., the ability of the system to behave gracefully in case of erroneous test steps and test input. Question 81. What is concurrency testing? Answer. Concurrency testing is multi-user testing in which an application is evaluated by analyzing the application's behavior with concurrent users accessing the same functionality. Question 82. What is backend testing? Answer. Backend testing is a type of testing that involves testing the backend of the system, which comprises testing the databases and the APIs in the application. Question 83. What is alpha and beta testing? Answer. Alpha and beta testing is a type of testing in which the two variants of the software product are exposed to the end users and on analyzing the user behavior on each variant, the better variant is chosen and used thereafter. Question 84. What is risk analysis? Answer. Risk analysis is the analysis of the risk identified and assigning an appropriate risk level to the defect based on its impact on the application. Question 85. What is the difference between regression and retesting? Answer. Regression testing involves testing the application to verify that a new code change doesn't affect the other parts of the application, whereas in retesting, we verify if the fixed issue is resolved or not. Question 86. What is the difference between black box and white box testing? Answer. Black box testing is a type of testing in which the internal architecture of the code is not required for testing. It is usually applicable for system and acceptance testing, whereas white box testing requires internal design and implementation knowledge of the application being tested. It is usually applicable for unit and integration testing. Question 87. What is the difference between smoke and sanity testing? Answer. The difference between smoke and sanity testing is: 1. Smoke testing is a type of testing in which all major functionalities of the application are tested before carrying out exhaustive testing, whereas sanity testing is a subset of regression testing that is carried out when there is some minor fix in the application in a new build. 2. In smoke testing, shallow wide testing is carried out, while in sanity, narrow deep testing for a particular functionality is done. 3. The smoke tests are usually documented or automated, whereas the sanity tests are generally not documented or unscripted. Question 88. What is the difference between release and build? Answer. A build is an executable file provided by the developers to the testing team for testing the application. It undergoes various iterations of fixing and testing until the application works as expected. Once the application becomes stable and ready for the end users, it's released in the market, whereas a release is an installable software provided to the end users after it gets certified by the testing team. During the release of any software to the client, release notes are attached to it that includes a number of defects still open, covered user stories, change requirements, and version of the release. Question 89. What is the difference between bug leakage and bug release? Answer. Bug leakage is when the tested software is released into the market and the end user finds bugs in it. These include the bugs that got missed by the testing team during the testing phase. Whereas bug release is when a specific version of the software is released in the market with some known bugs which are intended to get fixed in later versions. These types of issues are of low priority and are mentioned in the release notes while sharing with the end users. Question 90. What do you mean by defect triage? Answer. Defect triage is a process in which the defects are prioritized based on different factors like severity, risk, the time required to fix the bug, etc. The defect triage meeting includes the different stakeholders, the development team, testing team, project manager, BA, etc., which decide the priority of fixing the defects. Question 91. What is a test harness? Why do we need a test harness? Answer. A test harness is a collection of test scripts and test data usually associated with the unit and integration testing. It involves stubs and drivers that are required for testing software modules and integrated components. Question 92. What is all-pair testing? Answer. All-pair testing is a type of testing in which the application is tested with all possible combinations of the values of input parameters. Question 93. What is failover testing? Answer. Failover testing is a type of testing that is used to verify the application's ability to allocate more resources, more servers, in case of failure and transfer the processing part to the backup system. Question 94. What is fuzz testing? Answer. Fuzz testing is a type of testing in which a large amount of random data is provided as input to the application in order to find security loopholes and other issues in the application. Question 95. What is pilot testing? Answer. Pilot testing is the testing carried out as a trial by a limited number of users to evaluate the system and provide their feedback before the complete deployment is carried out. Question 96. What is dev box testing? Answer. In dev box testing, a tester performs testing on the developer's system to verify if the major functionalities of the application are stable and ready for testing. Question 97. What is mutation testing? Answer. Mutation testing is a type of white box testing in which the source code of the application is mutated to cause some defects in its working. After that, the test scripts are executed to check for their correctness by verifying the failures caused by the mutant code. Question 98. What is the requirement traceability matrix? RTM. Answer. In software testing, a requirement traceability matrix is a table that relates the high-level requirements with detailed requirements, test plans, or test cases. RTM helps in ensuring 100% test coverage. Question 99. What is cyclomatic complexity? Answer. Cyclomatic complexity is the measure of the number of independent paths in an application or program. This metric provides an indication of the amount of effort required to test complete functionality. It can be defined by the expression L, n plus 2p, where L is the number of edges in the graph, n is the number of nodes, p is the number of disconnected parts. Question 100. What are the entry criteria in software testing? Answer. A set of prerequisites that are required to kick off the testing activity includes a test environment, test tool, test data, database connectivity, and many more. Question 101. What is the exit criteria in software testing? Answer. An exit criteria is a formal set of conditions that specify the agreed upon features or state of the application in order to mark the completion of the process or product. Question 102. What is the difference between testing and debugging? Answer. Testing is primarily performed by the testing team in order to find the defects in the system, whereas debugging is an activity performed by the development team. In debugging, the cause of the defect is located and fixed, thus removing the defect and preventing any future occurrence of the defect as well. Another difference between the two is, testing can be done without any internal knowledge of software architecture, whereas debugging requires knowledge of software architecture and coding. Question 103. Explain the Agile methodology. Answer. The Agile methodology of software development is based on an iterative and incremental approach. In this model, the application is broken down into smaller builds on which different cross-functional teamwork together, providing rapid delivery along with adapting to changing needs at the same time. Question 104. What is Scrum? Answer. A Scrum is a process for implementing Agile methodology. In Scrum, time is divided into sprints, and on completion of sprints, a deliverable is shipped. Question 105. What are the different roles in Scrum? Answer. The different roles in Scrum are: 1. Product owner. The product owner owns the whole development of the product, assigns tasks to the team, and acts as an interface between the Scrum team, development team, and the stakeholders. 2. Scrum Master. The Scrum Master monitors that Scrum rules get followed in the team and conducts Scrum meetings. 3. Scrum Team. A Scrum team participates in the Scrum meetings and performs the tasks assigned. Question 106. What is a Scrum meeting? Answer. A Scrum meeting is a daily meeting in the Scrum process. This meeting is conducted by the Scrum Master, and an update of the previous day's work along with the next day's task and context is defined in this meeting. Question 107. Explain TDD. Test-driven development. Answer. Test-driven development is a software development methodology in which the development of the software is driven by test cases created for the functionality to be implemented. In TDD, first, the test cases are created, and then the code to pass the tests is written. Later, the code is refactored as per the standards. Question 108. What is the difference between latent and mask defects? Answer. A latent defect is an unidentified defect present in the current release but is not visible because the conditions in which the defect could be found have never been met. These types of defects occur only when a particular event gets triggered which was concealing their presence. Whereas a mask defect is an existing defect that has not yet caused any failure because another error has masked it or prevented it from getting discovered. Question 109. What is the PDCA cycle in software testing? Answer. PDCA cycle is key for continuous process improvement in software development. It includes the following 4 steps. 1. Plan. Plan the objectives, goals, and initiatives which help to reach customer satisfaction. 2. Do. It implements the plan into action. To serve the customer with better quality and satisfaction, it is necessary to have a good plan to execute. 3. Check. To check the progress of your plan which has been implemented. The result will show how accurate the planning had been done. 4. Act. Acting upon the results to do further improvement which helps in achieving the plan goals. Question 110. What is defect cascading? And defect cascading is the triggering of a defect by another defect. It happens when a defect is not caught by the testing team and it gives rise to another defect. Question 111. What is a test metric? Answer. Test metric is a quantitative analysis that helps in monitoring the progress of a software project. Every project has its own timeline, so ensuring the delivery of the project on time requires setting deliverables at different intervals, and this aspect of measuring the progress is provided by test metrics. Question 112. What is context-driven testing? Answer. Context-driven testing is the type of testing that involves adopting the test practices and methodologies and at times customizing them based on the context of the project. In this type of testing, instead of following best practices, we follow what works best for the project based on the skills, experience, and judgment of the testing team. Question 113. How can you test an application without a requirement document? Answer. An application can be tested without a formal requirement document by using the following measures. By researching applications that are similar in nature. Testing based on ideal user experience. Even without having any requirements, a tester can still test the application's user-friendliness. Using exploratory testing, since there is no documentation involved. So testers can use exploratory testing and test the application on the fly with a more hands-on approach. Asking as many questions as possible and brainstorming with the different stakeholders, product managers, developers, etc. Question 114. How to write efficient test cases? Answer. We can write efficient test cases by using below approaches. 1. Following test design techniques like boundary value analysis, equivalence class partitioning, decision table testing, etc. 2. By writing clear and concise test cases that are not ambiguous. 3. Following a uniform nomenclature also helps in creating efficient test cases. 4. Avoiding redundancy leads to the wastage of both resources and time. So, good test cases need not have any redundancy. 5. Using a requirement traceability matrix helps in ensuring that the test coverage is maximized.